Drowning deep in my sea of loathing, broken your servant I nail. Will you give in to me? It seems what's left of my human side is slowly changing in me. Will you give in to me? Looking at my own reflection, when suddenly it changes, violently it changes. Oh no, there is no turning back now. You've woken up the demon, the enemy. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and the differ with the mate. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You mother, get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You get up, come on, get down with the sickness. And this is the gift that has been given to me. I can see inside you the sickness is rising. Don't try to deny what you feel. Will you give in to me? It seems that all that was good has died.
Someone in chat called this the low T version of the song, which I guess is appropriate considering the topic of the stream. I'm almost embarrassed at this point to continue talking about Ralph. I've really wanted to stop at some point. Like, I've been planning in my head, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna stop talking about Ralph at some point in, like, the near future. But then he continually ups the ante, and I feel stuck. And there's like punishment for this. If I talk about Ralph consistently, then when I talk about the things that I used to talk about, people are upset in the comments. I saw some comment like, who is this fat bitch that you're obsessed with? And it's like, well, she used to be the main course of this stream for a very long time. And now, unfortunately, Ralph has eaten her supper and her desserts and has continued to engorge himself until I cannot ignore him. I cannot ignore his mass. He's taken up everything. But I don't know. I guess I'm hoping. I've been hoping for a while. I was hoping after the trial that he'll calm down at some point, so I can like reflect and look at other things that maybe I've missed over the last year. But I don't know. It's hard to guess. It's hard to say because I have to. I guess I have to apologize to both Ralph or not apologize, but at least admit that I was wrong about Ralph and Jim, because I said multiple times that Jim would never make fun of Ralph. They seemed to have some sort of deal set up where he would stay off the topic of Ralph, and Ralph would never cross Medicare, because Medicare is like, as I said, the reason why I thought he would never cross Medicare and make fun of Medicare is that even Gator would choose Jim over Ralph if that was the option presented to him, and I was right about that. But I thought for that reason Ralph had kind of locked himself in. It's like there's no real reason to make fun, like to try and like piss off Jim or his audience as Ralph, because his audience likes Jim. So what's the fucking point? But Ralph's skin is continually proven thinner than I could ever imagine. And it's sort of an interesting thing. It's just how he defies expectations and what is not off limits to him. And I guess we'll go over that. But I didn't want to dive right into Ralph. But I'm pontificating. I'm not left in like a state of euphoria as many people would like to believe that something like Ralph is a continual fuck up. So I must be like the happiest person on the planet. I have no personal investment in Ralph like ending up dead. So I feel almost like overburdened with all this content. Like, you're really speed running your own life here, buddy. You might want to stop and think about things for maybe even a moment, because I can't even keep up with it. Like every time I look away from what I'm doing, it's like, oh, Ralph made some stupid ass fucking tweet that if anyone else like even shot at the same caliber as Ralph, like that would be like feature worthy. But Ralph, it's like, oh yeah, he's pissed off someone he's known for 7 fucking years over literally nothing. Must be a Friday. Like that's it. That's the average expectation for him now. It's flabbergasting. Though when we talk about people like Ralph and Chris, it's interesting to think how many like Chris Chans and how many Ralphs are out there that are undocumented. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's a lot of people like Ralph, but they just end up in like the Department of Corrections, and that's the last of their story. And nobody really hears or sees like what they've done. I'm sure there's many Ralphs out there, but our Ralph is the only one who decided to make streaming his every action and tweeting his every thought onto the internet his career, and for that we thank him. But just to knock something out, so this was sent to me right before the stream, and I figured I would talk about it. If you follow me at all, or have for a while, you'd probably know that I have some history with 8chan, and in particular the Watkins, Ron Watkins, and Jim Watkins. Jim Watkins is the guy who actually owns 8chan. Ron Watkins is his Hapa son, who is now running for Congress in Arizona. And the little update for that is that he advertised his campaign to run for Congress in Arizona on 8chan and solicited donations from those users. But as announced on the 2nd of this month, his campaign is doing poorly. He's raised $33,000. A lot of that is from Jim Watkins, who still has some money to burn, I guess, and loaned him that money. But the other GOP opponents, not even including the Democratic opponents in Arizona, raised 10 and 20 times more money than him. So $330,000 and almost $1 million for the other guy. So I really don't know what he's doing. I don't know what any of these people are doing. Jim's story is kind of a weird one, where he had 2chan. Correction, he still has 2chan. I think it's rebranded as 5chan. And 5chan was losing a lot of its steam on the internet to Twitter, which was becoming big in Japan. And so he bought 8chan from Frederick Brennan, thinking that he would break into the American image board market, take over 4chan's place, and still have economic growth, user-based growth. And of course that didn't happen. 8chan has been maligned by pretty much everything. And they've done really weird shit to keep 8chan from being closed entirely. And now, after the Capitol Hill shit, they're running for fucking Congress, and it's also not going well. So, just this is more for me. I'm just kind of watching. I keep very vague tabs on these people because I've met them. Unlike everybody else I've talked about, I have met Frederick Brennan, Ron Watkins, and Jim Watkins. I've seen them in person. I've had coffee. I ate steak with them in Hokkaido, and it's so weird. It's how those paths have diverged completely. Like I completely estranged myself from them, and then they're completely estranged from Frederick, who really fucking hates me still. But I don't know. I have a hard time hating Frederick, even though I think most people would agree I probably should. But when I met him and I knew him, I kind of attributed a lot of his character flaws to just survival mechanisms that he's adopted as he grew up and learned to take care of himself. So to me, it's more like just seeing someone who is driven, more nature driven than most people. He has to do certain things to sustain himself. Hokkaido, Hokkaido was beautiful. Hokkaido was a lot like how you imagine Japan. It still has on the main streets. It's a much smaller city. I say city. I think Hokkaido is the entire island of northern Japan. I could be wrong. It could just be. Yeah, it is. I went to a specific city in Hokkaido. Sapporo. They have great beer. You probably had a Sapporo beer if you like light beer. That's actually where I started drinking Sapporo while I was there, because it was the local brew. But it's very Japanesey. It's really nice. Weird thing there is that the Japanese people there are much yellower than they were. We went to Okinawa and Hokkaido, and the ones in Okinawa are much more like South Asian looking, and the ones in Hokkaido are like proper fucking. You look like you have that liver disease that makes you yellow. Like, it looks like a skin condition is what I'm saying. I'm racist? No, like, for real. That was the most obvious thing to me, especially when you're like in the subway there, because the lights are kind of tinted yellow. Jaundice, that's right. They look like they have jaundice. And the lights in the subway are like very yellow tinted too when I was there, so it's like everyone was like super fucking yellow. I'm like, God, you people are like Simpsons characters. But no, it was a nice place. It was very, very nice, and I had one of those Japanese showers that are extremely comfortable. Because it's like the entire thing is like it drained, so you like rinse off in the main area. Like, imagine if you took a shower by like rinsing yourself in the middle of the bathroom, and then you just got into a tub. But when it's December, when it's around Christmas time, and there's snow on the ground, and you're fucking cold, and it's like it's so nice to get into the tub and just soak for like an hour. It's great. Yeah, that was. It was a great week. The week that I spent on Christmas week, a white Christmas in Japan with these people, was a great time that I look back on really positively. And I'm extremely saddened to see that they're all despondent weirdos who have decided to dedicate themselves to things that I know will not make them happy. So, such is life. Josh is a woman. I'm sorry. I've taken showers for the last almost 30 fucking years of my life. I get to enjoy a bath once for Christmas Day. Okay, you fucker. It's not effeminate to relax. That's why women live longer than men. A woman will live to be like 80 to 90 because they take a bath once in a while and they drop their cortisone levels, and instead of having a heart attack at 60 like men do. I can't have pizza stay in the shower. It's true. I've never had pizza in the bathtub. I've never understood the fascination with eating while in the tub. That's fucking disgusting. Also, okay, I want to make fun of iDubbbz for a bit. After Sam Hyde released his side of the documentary, which was interesting, but the most interesting thing was kind of like the interview. And the funniest thing was the document that I read that was just like the iDubbbz gaslighting video, but iDubbbz released his side, prompted because Sam Hyde had already released his side of the thing, and it's like, well, fuck it. Now we might as well get it out because we look really. I think there's one thing in particular that iDubbbz is particularly embarrassed about, and the entire reason why he released the documentary. So I think it was mostly finished, but then he just kind of added some final edits in to characterize things correctly for him, and then he pushed it out there. My first favorite part of the video was this, and I'll like most of it is basically the same as Sam Hyde, just with commentary from iDubbbz, which sucks and isn't worth listening to. Though it is kind of funny to hear iDubbbz cry about non-PC shit. This was probably the highlight of the video to me. And
you don't get annoyed or bothered by the noise.
Oh, I probably have to put for whatever reason, VLC does not want to play MP4 files anymore, and that's bad. That is unfortunate.
And you don't get annoyed.
So there's two parts to this. One of them I've seen commented on before, but for whatever reason, everyone ignores the second half, which I find much funnier. So they're in a car, and Sam Hyde is in what I believe is his personal vehicle. It's like an old sports car, and it has a loud engine. My buddy in Florida loved old cars like this. In fact, I'm pretty sure he had the exact same car. It was just like a huge piece of shit, and he like properly changed the engine to a new engine and stuff. But this is something that people who have money and time can sink shit into, is these fucking cars. But it makes a loud noise, and iDubbbz is complaining about the sound of the car. He says that the car is too loud for him, and it annoys him.
And you don't get annoyed or bothered by the noise. You like it.
Of the car?
Yeah.
It's really annoying.
Okay. But you put up with it because there's other benefits.
Well, what do you want me to do? Freak out and start screaming? I could stop putting up with it. Like a retard.
That's what I
It's fine. I'd probably rather be in a rental Corolla right now. It would be more comfortable.
Okay. Are you supposed to wear a mask at the drive-thru here?
No, you just put your shirt over your face.
So, very funny. Yes, he's basically just making fun of iDubbbz to his fucking face and saying, like, you're a retard, you're bothered by loud noise, you fucking spurg. This is way, way funnier to me. This is way telling that this guy lives and breathes L.A., and the monster of L.A. has consumed the soul, whatever of iDubbbz was worth salvaging at some point. He's completely gone. He has been in LA too long, and the beast has collected him. This interaction is great, and it causes Sam Hyde to break his character.
I'm through here.
No, you just put your shirt over your face.
Did you do that?
So he's saying, do we need to wear a mask when we go through the drive-thru? We're in our fucking car. We're receiving chicken from a lady handing us a bag through an open window. Do we need to wear our mask? And I guess it is kind of required that you cover your face when you go through a drive-thru, which is fucking ridiculous in Massachusetts. So Sam Hyde just says, no, you just cover your nose with your shirt because you're just reaching out the window to grab the chicken. Like, why do you need to wear a medical device to receive chicken? You retard. But iDubbbz is not happy with this answer.
What, this?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? As opposed to what, putting a fucking mask on?
Yeah, it's a little cringe, don't you think?
What, covering your face with a t-shirt?
Yeah.
You think putting a mask on is less cringe than covering
Yeah.
your face with a t-shirt?
Yeah.
Dude. You gotta get out of
With the
California.
mask?
And then what do you guys want?
2 spicy deluxes as well.
2 meals or sandwiches?
Let's do sandwiches.
2 spicy deluxe sandwiches also. He just reported me for not having a mask. You can take that mask off now. I like to pretend the Chick-fil-A girls are my own private harem and they exist to serve. Take the mask off, Jesus Christ. They exist to serve me.
Like, that's him breaking his character, watching iDubbbz in this fucking medical mask, and he's having this conversation, and he just breaks.
Take the mask off, Jesus Christ.
Like, it angers him. He's looking at this man, and he can't see his face while he's talking to him because he's opted to cover himself with this mask to receive Chick-fil-A from the drive-thru. He's like, just take that shit off. You're embarrassing me. Like, I feel bad being in the vehicle with you, iDubbbz. You're cringe. You're being kind of fucking gay here. But that was my favorite interaction. If you want to, my second favorite interaction was this, where he starts the interview process. But one of the big things that was criticized of iDubbbz when Sam Hyde released his part of the interview footage was iDubbbz being very upset that Sam Hyde years ago, like I don't even know how long, like more than 5 years ago, probably like closer to 10 years ago, Sam Hyde was working on this pony game, which I vaguely am familiar with. I completely forgot what it was about. But iDubbbz did a video exposing that this was like a joke or something, and Sam Hyde didn't want this joke to be exposed so early. So what he did is he DMCA'd it. And they explain what happened, but it seems like the entire impetus for iDubbbz doing this is that he was upset 10 years later that Sam Hyde had DMCA'd this paper. So after Sam released his side of the interview footage, he was lambasted for being so butthurt about something so fucking stupid from so long ago, especially. And he's had to recharacterize this. So I'm going to play this, and I sped it up because otherwise it's like 20 minutes long, and you'll see why, because I left a little comment in the clip.
But a lot of the iffy stuff that he says, it's really hard to write off as jokes because he's never really been shy about like aligning himself with the alt-right.
They do want to destroy whiteness. If you're going to one of these things to help...
Guys, refresh my memory. Who's that on the left? Vaguely familiar. Just, no idea, though. Seems to be erased from my brain.
One of these things to help them destroy whiteness. Be ready to be destroyed.
He's donated around $5,000 to the Daily Stormer, which is a neo-Nazi website.
I don't even know if this is true. Like, if WeSearcher is, like, this pisses me off. Like, okay, so all of WeSearcher's donations were anonymous, except for one from Sam Hyde. Is this like GoFundMe, where you can just put whatever the fuck you want? You can donate to Ralph's GoFundMe thing for his kid as like Sandra Ralph or Adrian Blair or whatever. Is that like he is like the perpetual victim of impersonation? How do you know for a fact that this donation comes directly from Sam Hyde? It was a while ago. I'm pretty like I remember WeSearcher because when I was interested in a payment processor for the site, he donated to England's legal fund. Okay, well that's different. Yeah, that was a weird case. He lost that on default. I don't want to get into it, but I remember that. I mean, I can't. If it's just based off like the receipts public on the WeSearcher, I can't say that like that's confirmed unless he actually did confirm it himself.
And you don't really do that as a joke. from what I understand about the world. So with the context that Sam openly aligns himself with the alt-right and white supremacy and misogynistic stuff, it's hard to write off any of the ironic stuff as just ironic.
Peace, because hate is whack, dude.
My race is done. You're inheriting the earth, along with some other undesirables, and that's cool, bro.
Hi, before we continue with the documentary, I want to take a few minutes to talk about irony.
iDubbbz then proceeds to define irony for 5 fucking minutes straight. You might think that this is to explain Sam Hyde, but it's actually to explain why he asked this really, really cringy and embarrassing question about Sam Hyde DMCAing a video he did like 8 years ago.
Well, I'm going to flip that question on you and say...
You can't flip the. I just flipped the question on you.
No,
You
that's
can't-
not how this works.
I'll repeat that just in case it was a little bit low. The fast forwarded part where he I'll redub myself. I'll play through this and redub myself. Hold up. Okay, so this segment is 5 minutes long, explaining the definition of irony and post-irony. And it's not, and you might think, oh, this is a documentary about Sam Hyde, so he's explaining like Hyde's style of humor. No, he is explaining his really, really shitty, embarrassing question in this interview that everyone made fun of him for. It has nothing to do with Sam Hyde, even though you would immediately think that this explanation, the 5 fucking minutes, this clip was sped up 1,500% to fit it into 16 seconds. You would think this must be about Sam Hyde. No, it is about his shitty butthurt about being DMCA'd. And why his genius comedy has to be explained for the audience. Okay, that's your explanation.
Well, I'm going to flip that question on you and say...
You can't flip the. I just flipped the question on you.
No,
You
that's
can't-
not how this works. I'm interviewing you.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is the craziest interview I've ever conducted.
Yeah, this is not going to be like an ordinary interview.
All right, go ahead.
Do you remember our first interaction?
No,
You don't?
no. I have very bad memory, though.
Yeah.
Was it bad?
What do you think?
Did I snub you or slight you or something?
Someone in chat says that I have interesting analysis about this. It's not my impression. I will show you that he is explaining
I
this.
do.
Watch.
Your memory's that bad?
Yes.
You don't remember?
I do not remember.
Okay. Do you remember...
What was it?
You remember making a pony game?
Yes.
There were some creators at the time who made videos about this fake pony project.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also someone pointed out in the Sam Hyde footage, the camera like places them on equal sides, and you can just see how big Sam is compared to iDubbbz, and it's like a dominating pose he takes. This is like super weird how they have the camera set up so that I think it's actually it fucks with my brain when I watch it from his perspective, because I think he's breaking. And I'm not like a filmographer. I think he's breaking the 180 rule, isn't he? Because like the perspectives are weird so that it doesn't make sense in your head where they're sitting. Like if you just watch this clip, you wouldn't know what the fuck where they sit, where they're positioned in this room, right? So I think that's because he breaks the 180 rule, and your brain can't figure out from the footage where they're sitting or where they're looking at each other, because you never see like a perspective shot that shows them in the room together. And it really it was immediately awkward to me when I saw this from his perspective. But from Hyde's perspective, like he is like just sitting right over, like hulking over iDubbbz, who's much more meek in his posture.
Were you one of them?
I was one of them.
What did I do?
Do you have any guesses?
Did I say fuck you or something?
No, you copyright claimed the video.
Really?
Yes. And then you sent me an email.
I mean, I don't do most copyright claims. What was the email?
The email was, I will release the copyright claim on your video if you can send me a video of yourself squatting 200 pounds below parallel.
Why didn't you do that? You'd be so much.
Just look at how like his. I'm sorry, I don't mean to spurg about like film school shit, but like Sam Hyde is like dark. He's like, it's like a Zoom conference where Sam is like sitting in the bowels of hell next to the devil in like a dark, dank dungeon where the only illumination is like the burning souls across the lake of fire, and then iDubbbz is over
Strong
here in
enough, you've done
heaven,
that.
Yeah.
Damn.
lit up like an angel.
Did I create an enemy with that?
I mean, for a period.
Damn.
I didn't like you.
I'm sorry.
You were an asshole.
I'm sorry, buddy. That's no good.
Yeah, why'd you do that to me?
I don't know. I can't even remember what your video was. So maybe I was pissed off or something. I don't know. I was trying to not have that ruse get blown though.
Right.
So maybe that had something to do with it.
That probably did.
I'm sorry. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Damn.
That's what led to this day today.
Really? Okay. So are you gonna punk me?
You're getting punked.
Really?
This is not my edit. He, in the documentary, after he says really awkward things in this conversation that had already been made public by Sam Hyde, he didn't want to cut it out because it would look like he was embarrassed. So he just literally splices in a 5-minute long segment defining what meta irony is. No, I'm not muted. You scared the fuck out of me by saying I was muted. Fuck you, cunt nature guardian. So he places it. He literally cuts back to this explanation to say, "No, really, this is me being ironic, bro. I'm not embarrassed by my behavior at all."
How are you gonna punk me?
I'm gonna make you look like an asshole.
Really?
Which isn't hard to do.
Is that really the case?
No.
Okay.
Part of me feels like you might be being disingenuous by saying you don't remember.
I
legit don't remember. 100% serious.
He's
Really?
angry.
Yeah.
He's literally angry that his biggest grievance against this guy for 10 years has just been forgotten. It's just like something that happened that he didn't instantly forgot about. And he's like legit fucking angry about it.
Is it because you're doing so much that you just sort of forget all the bridges you burn and all the like people you fuck with?
Did I burn a bridge with that?
I could have been, but I'm a resilient person, so I turned that hate into a passion for filmmaking, which is why I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you like still angry with me?
No, definitely not.
Okay. Do you dislike me still?
No, I think there's some things about you that I just want to understand better.
Yeah.
Mostly to do with your comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I have a list of questions that I can get into.
Sure.
It was so nice for Sam Hyde to take it upon the Department of Corrections and allow his victim to come and speak to him about how he feels and how what he did to him made him feel. Also, I just realized that the sped up part that I made is like iDubbbz trying to explain why his joke was actually funny. You could just put that with the iFunny caption up at the top, and it would be perfect. It would be perfect. I'd hope to see that on iFunny one day, my favorite website. Anyways, that's about it. The reaction is kind of mixed. I think he's probably hiding a lot of comments on his channel because there was one that I saw that was saying like, "Wow, you kind of come across like a bitch in this." Because I think there's a lot of videos where you say the N-word and do a lot of edgy shit, and yet you're chastising him for the exact same thing. That comment got like 5,000 upvotes, and then it was like deleted, or maybe I don't know. Maybe YouTube independently said, "Up, this is a bad." Maybe it just got hidden by the algorithm, but it wasn't there when I looked at it today. But yeah, that's the iDubbbz thing. I thought that interaction was interesting. It was the first thing. This sort of back. I'm actually surprised he put this out because it's like, how hard is it to ignore Sam Hyde? Sam Hyde's been desperate to get like anyone to interact with him or take bait with him because he's so well known now that it's hard for him to like fuck with people. But that's what happened. Okay, I think with that said, I can talk about Ralph. the what everyone's patiently been waiting for me to get to act like my stream is not about Ralph at this point. Where do I start? Where do I begin with this? Where do we end last week? I think I just talked about him getting his ass kicked, right? That was the last thing that I mentioned. Since then, or maybe around that time, Flamenco, who is a former co-host of the Kill Stream, who has started up his own little thing, and he talks about internet drama, but I think he got his start. He got like some traction, some popularity, talking about like VTuber drama, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I'm trying my best here. I can't keep up anymore. But Flamenco gets his ball rolling, and he talks about anime. Well, as we all know, since COVID-19 has started, Metaker, who was of course internet famous as Internet Aristocrat during Gamergate, and then who made a bunch of videos about like weirdos on the internet, has become a full-on weeaboo. He has resigned himself to the anime dungeon, and he loves anime. He watches anime all the time, and when he streams, he talks about anime with his fans. So Flamenco naturally decided this is a perfect opportunity for me to get like a big name on my show. I'll invite him and the Gator Gamer, because Ralph's current or more recent long-term co-host, Gator. Actually, I think the longest-term co-host for the Ralph Retort or the Kill Stream was Gator. He also likes anime, and I think he likes VTuber stuff. So Flamenco says, we'll just have a nice little chat and talk about anime. And I think I played a game, and I put it on the background, and I listened to it at like 2x speed. And it was a stream where 3 weeaboos and a... I think also, no, 4 weeaboos. There's some other guy I don't know at all there. And they just talk about anime for a couple hours. Very, very wholesome weeaboo content for everyone. Okay, Flamenco's in the chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. Half correct. I challenged Jem to fighting game shit because his bout with Ralph. Gator asked for the anime one. Well, there you go. But I watched that, and during the little interaction where they're talking about anime. Actually, you know what? I think it was Gator's show. He does Gator Time to talk about anime or some shit, right? So Flamenco is a guest there with some other guy I don't know, and someone whose name is like Spooky, and she's like some other like weeaboo that I think Gator really wants to fuck. Good luck with that. And Jim is there, and they talk about anime. But before that happens, Gator receives a very generous super chat from an unknown person. Who says makes a pill stream reference, which as I've said before, I thought that I must be completely wrong about this at this point in time, but I had completely fallen into a belief that Jim and Gator, or not Jim and Gator, but Jim and Ralph had worked out a armistice. They had worked out a truce with each other where Ralph would like completely forget that he existed, and Jim would only joke about the pill stream. That Ralph had okayed the pill stream as content that Jim is allowed to make fun of forever, and that way nobody could ever say that he's gun guarding for Ralph by not talking about anything else, or by not talking about Ralph, because he could just do pill stream jokes. And I'm sorry if you were offended by this, because a lot of people got angry at me for saying this, but if you look at it, that is the only conclusion I could draw. How could you not look at anything else that Ralph has done since the pill stream and think, wow, this is fucking funny? But alas, it appears I was completely wrong, and Jim just didn't care about anything. Well, I don't even want to speculate. But what happened is that the pill stream comes up. Gator starts. Do I have a pill bottle or something that I can shake? I do not. I do not keep my vitamins at this desk. I have some vitamin D I could shake, but I don't have it. Everyone starts shaking bottles of Smarties, whatever the fuck, and they start laughing at him. And this upsets Ralph, both towards Jim and towards Gator. So this was published on Flamenco Stream by Gator, and I will read it now. Ralph Mail, unironically named, I mean, I could believe that this is fake, but he unironically calls himself Ralph Mail on fucking Discord, because of course he does. Says, on January 23rd, 2022, I wouldn't see literally any other co-host I have speak about me the way you have the last few days, and previously, if we're being honest. I'm trying really hard not to do what I think I should do. I don't have anyone else to run the site, especially, but I just think things on air may have run their course. I'm not in for what you're doing anymore. I want a clean break from the old. It's nothing but an albatross these days, and you're going to run me down and shit. I'm just not accepting that anymore. I appreciate what you have tried to do, and I realize it's a difficult situation, but no one else I work with is playing me like a bitch. You are. Like I said, I don't have anyone to run the site, and it's basically your setup. If you'd like to still do that and get paid for it, maybe like $150 a month, that's fine. But if you think that's inappropriate now, then that's also fine. I'll figure it out. I always do. Also, if you want to say something to counter my feelings, then I would also welcome that, but I don't know. I'm definitely not continuing on in the same way here. So this is Ralph's reply to Gator. Gator and his best friend in the world, someone that he sees like a father, his idol, his internet daddy, Jim. He finally had a nice stream where they could sit down and talk about anime, get some viewers on a show, and Ralph freaks the fuck out because they joke about something that happened literally 2 years ago at this point. It was January 2020. I'm pretty sure he had the pill stream. Might have even been January 2019, but I think it was 2020. To which Gator replies, his mensch. Yes, thank you, Molly. Gator replies, you know, I've got nothing but respect, but we've been friends for almost a decade at this point, but I have a way I handle stuff that's just different, and it isn't the way you do. I've always been that way. I come from that internet, lowercase I, internet world, and I can tell you that you just don't have time nor patience for it anymore with everything going on. I get it. I really do. I honestly felt like the time I've been spending doing my real life stuff and my side projects, I just don't have any time to co-host anymore, especially because I'm tired of having to play diplomacy between all the different factions. I'm tired of having to address every controversy or get blamed for stuff and I had no involvement with. I roll up the punches, whether it's a joke at my expense or at yours, and I know you're not in the mood for that shit, especially someone that's ostensibly supposed to toe the line 100% of the time as co-host. I just want to make fun content. I'm just not having fun with this anymore. And that's Gator's reply. They've been like he says, close to a decade. Gator has always been there. Gator has always taken his side on pretty much everything. I think the first breakaways that he had with Ralph on like picking sides is Ricada and Flamenco. And so like Gator, I know, expressed unhappiness with Ralph randomly like shitting on Ricada, and it was a bombastic, stupid fucking move. Even then, literally all Ricada did is like grimace at the fact that that Ralph shit himself on stream, right? And Flamenco and Gator probably, I don't know what they do. I imagine in my head, I know Gator likes Destiny and they both like anime. So I imagine that they get on Discord and they play Destiny 2 together and they talk about anime and they bonded over this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my headcanon for the Flamator Gaminko ship. That's my headcanon for this. I'm going to make that ship sail. Why do you hate Jim? I don't hate Jim. So that's when they first start to split, right? And I guess the Jim shit's like the final fucking straw, right? I mean, I said that, right? You can't blame me for this. I said that if Ralph ever made and this is why I said that it would never fight. I said that Jim just didn't want to fuck with Ralph and get caught up in his bullshit, and Ralph knew that if he forced his audience and forced Gator to pick between him and Jim, he would lose. And I was right about that, but I was wrong that he wouldn't actually, that would dissuade him from cutting ties and burning bridges. But it's hard to say that Ralph won't do something anymore, because he will. He's so desperate. I think, and I made a post about this on the forum, but I think what's driving him at this point is that, like, people say he's like Chris now. That's not true. Chris was a very passive person, and he had very simple wants. He just wanted to play games, eat and sleep whatever he wanted, and eventually have a girlfriend that would take care of everything for him and raise children for him. So Ralph is not that. Like, the content that Chris put out was goaded by trolls, and Ralph can be very easily manipulated into doing things funny by like, if you're someone that he hates and you say like, oh, I really wish I had this, he'll fucking do it. He'll do it just to like spite you. Like almost every time with the simplest provocation, he'll go out and do it. But it's not the same as the trolling shit that happened with Chris. Ralph is someone who, instead of being driven by naivety or gullibility, is driven by his narcissism. And when you think about it that way, and I'm hesitant to like armchair psychology shit, because people say that everyone's a narcissist. Every thread has like this post saying like, this person definitely is a narcissist sociopath. But Ralph is, I think, a classic narcissist. I think that his insecurity is a symptom of the narcissism. Lashing out at people is a symptom of the narcissism. And he's willing to burn bridges because in his mind, nobody matters except him. Gator didn't matter. Jim doesn't matter. I sent Ricada a Christmas card, I think, and I said something like, "Congratulations on the success of your show, and wishing a Merry Christmas for you and your family." Something very simple like this. And I'm able, even though I don't even appear on the Cato show, because I can't, because he talks about my legal cases, which are ongoing, and it would be unwise for me to go on a show and talk to him about that. I try to maintain like a friendly repertoire with a bunch of people. Ralph sees no purpose to this. He sees no purpose on staying on good terms with people who don't immediately benefit him. Jim's not coming on the stream anymore. Well, Jim is disposable. Gator is making fun of him in the slightest way behind his back. Gator's disposable. He can find another person to host his site or whatever. I guess he can't. He could theoretically, but right now he doesn't have that person, which is why he offers to pay him to like put up with him. A measly amount, by the way. Gator, if you can host a WordPress site, you can get paid $2,000 a month taking care of WordPress sites. Just saying. If you know how to set up a DigitalOcean VPS on for $5 and put a WordPress blog on it, you can make like serious money doing that. Just that. If you find the right clients, like small businesses and stuff, $150 is way, way, way below what that level of skill is. And setting up a WordPress blog doesn't sound like a lot, but when you think about how all the kids don't know how to do anything besides use their phone these days, like the pool of developers and tech savvy people is actually shrinking when you expect it to be growing a lot. Anyways, point is that as long as they're not immediately beneficial to Ralph, he does not care about them, which happened to Faith. She had the kid, disposable, gone, bye bitch, and he's not going to get custody over Xander because it doesn't benefit him to have any custody or rights to Xander. The baby being alive is the whole purpose, and he can just blame it not being in his custody on the California courts, and he'll be okay with that. As far as May is concerned, May is a wild card. It's hard to predict what May would do because May is retarded. When I first started seeing May come up in Ralph's life and DigiBird's life, I thought that she was conniving. I thought that she was meticulous. I thought she was working her way up, monkey branching from eCelebs to someone until she's eventually with Joe Rogan, right? Going to swing all the way up to the tippy top. Didn't happen. She is actually so dumb that it threw me for a loop. It staggered me. It knocked me off my balance. And I thought that she was some kind of secret genius. But no, she's actually brain dead. She is one of the dumbest fucking people I have ever seen on the site. That's not like an actual retard with some sort of like without missing chunks of their brain. She is really, really stupid. So I don't know if May will stay or go, but my thought is that it doesn't matter. I think that regardless of if she comes or goes, it will not affect Ralph. He does not care. He will keep her around as long as she cooks the slop that he likes to eat, and he will tolerate her as long as it's a net benefit to him. But the moment that she steps out of line or upsets him for any reason, no, she's gone immediately because he doesn't care. And someone said, like, I'm concerned. I think that Ralph has to be approaching like an end. He'll be killing himself soon. I don't think so. I think what's happening here is that he lives like someone who does not plan to be alive for very long. I think that he intends to be dead by the time he's 50. I think that the way he takes care of himself or doesn't take care of himself, the way he drinks and does drugs and eats like shit and just is constantly worked up into a fucking rage all the time. I think he just plans to die, and he doesn't care about the consequences of his actions. He doesn't care about the families that he impacts. He just wants to do what he wants to do until the day that God mercifully rips him from this world. That's my thought. Just like Ronnie Ralph. Exactly, just like Ronnie Ralph. So let me get a sip of water, and we'll read his articles that were aimed at Jim, because they're pretty fascinating. Thoughts on the convoy? I have no thoughts on the convoy. Zero whatsoever. I am in a position right now where I do not look at politics. I do not read the politics. Oh, the country I used to live in is about to be invaded? Interesting. Really fascinating. Interesting to hear. No opinions. Oh, the Canadians are rising up and honking? That sure is a thing. Definitely happening. I'm very interested. Okay. Fear. Keep in mind, like, I read through these, like, I'm not really like sat and digested on them, so we're gonna think about them together. And I'll read both of them. Don't you fucking worry. I'll get around to it. But because this is for posterity, this is for archival purposes, for the people in the future who are discovering this in the far off year of 3000, and people who speak ancient English are trying to uncover what the lives of Americans are like. This is what our lives are like, people, in the future. They're a never-ending nightmare. We live in constant dread of our own government and the people in our country who are able to sustain themselves off the donations and charity of others are fat, gunted felons who impregnate random horsewomen. It's a actual literal nightmare, anthropologists. Okay, now here. Fear, published January 31st, 2022 by Ethan Ralph on the ralphreport.com. What must it be like to live in abject fear? Not that everyday variety. Life is hard and we're all scared to some degree. Sickness, death, birth, life, the mysteries of existence. This is some existential shit right off the bat. These things have torn at the psyche of great and lesser men since time began. Fear itself is not new. What I'm talking about is a different kind of fear. One that keeps you from leaving your house. One that causes you to change the name you were born with. One that pushes you into deluding your fellow citizens into the nightmare COVID regime. All because at your core, you're a scared old man who's simply afraid to die. I would like to point out that Jim is 40, Ralph is 36. I legit don't understand the old man thing. That is like bizarre projection. And like I said, he projects like everything when he starts like lashing out. So he's definitely thought of changing his name. He's afraid to leave the house. Like when people are throwing Pampers at his door, he's afraid to leave the house. And he's deluding his fellow citizen with his stupid ass fucking streams. He's simply afraid to die. You've never had any real convictions your whole life. You're proud of that even, or so you say. In reality, you are a scared child praying, hoping, wishing that you could escape your just rewards. You'll do anything, suck off anyone to avoid it. You simply can't live as you have portrayed yourself. It's too much. You cry about it in Twitter DMs, you whine to your fat Asian hog, but deep down you know that this is what you signed up for, and you can't fucking stand it. Your entire life is a fabrication. You duck and dive and do whatever possibly can to avoid the piper getting paid. You put your own family at risk. You do anything at all to simply avoid owning up to your own deeds. You have no core whatsoever, and you do claim as personality traits are simply things you read on a message board. Most people would see this as a hellish existence because it is. That's also projection. That's something like he reads on the forum. Like an average person, if you like, okay, let's do a poll right here, right now. Would you shoot yourself in the fucking head if you woke up as Ethan Oliver Ralph? Let's let that run as we ponder this document that I'm reading. There are mistakes I have made, to be sure, but I could never and would never live like a fucking bitch. Scared to leave my house. Scared of the name my daddy gave me. Scared of fucking COVID. Scared of anything and everything. It's all terror when you turn the microphone off. We all know it too. It's very easy to see a scared old man coughing up one of his last breaths in between lame monologues that weren't even funny 2 years ago, much less now. I literally would rather died in the street the other day here in Lisbon than live like a fucking coward, if you can even call what I described above as living. Some people are fine with the delusions that they are confronted with. They are comforted by them even. I understand. I too used to love the thought of Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny or the Tooth Fairy, but there comes a time when childish delusions about a childless loser must come to an end. See, that's why he has kids, because he just wants to say, I have kids and you don't, Jimothy. You don't, Gator. You can't say that about Ricada, though. Ricada's got him beat like fourfold at this point. It's the natural course of life, you see. Well, if you actually live your life, if you live like a scared old bitch, well, maybe you continue on in your delusions. I won't hold it against you. The emperor has no clothes, he has no children, and he has very few white blood cells left, allegedly. Maybe in another life, he wasn't such a pussy. See you tomorrow night on the kill stream. And then he had this execution stream where he whispered, guys, I'm in Lisbon, and I can't yell. If I yell, I'm gonna get thrown out at this this bodega that I'm in. And the lady said that she would beat my fucking ass again if I fucking hollered at her. So I'm gonna have to whisper real delicate like to y'all. Okay, so interesting thing about this, I want to get it right off the bat. This was archived several times. When this was first written, Gator's Twitter handle name was Trader Gator, and then because he used the Twitter embed system to actually, you know what? Let me back up a bit. I'll get back to that. That's an interesting thought, but I want to do something else first. I want to play you a video real quick. This is a quote from Ralph on 2015.
Let me ask you something. Pattern. Could you ever imagine any situation where you would pick Cunt of Vivian over IA Mr. Medicare, like for any reason? Besides, I guess, unless you wanted to fuck her. I don't. Even so, I haven't seen Jim, but I don't know. What do you think, Verlo? Is there any situation you would ever take this bitch over him?
Well, everyone in chat is saying that they'd rather fuck Jim. So
I think I'd rather fuck him too. To be honest,
he's
that golden voice, the docile tones of the internet aristocrat while I'm hitting it. Yeah, I'd probably I'd much rather hit it.
he's a farmer in Minnesota, so he's probably got muscles.
He's probably shit. Like strapping as fuck. He looks like Jake Gyllenhaal off Brokeback Mountain or some shit. Yeah, no doubt. Okay.
And you also got a lot of
and we know Milo's pretty hot for him too, so there's a potential for a three-way there.
He did give Milo that pearl necklace, so he's got experience.
Exactly.
Did he though? Wasn't Milo complaining that he didn't do it?
Oh yeah, well, maybe it's time to pay it off now.
That's just a cover-up.
To answer your question, I'd obviously take Jim. I want there to be no fucking doubt that I would totally wreck Jim if my choice was him or Cultivator.
Why is it the men are answering and the woman is not? The men that claim.
So you're telling me you'd fuck her over Jim?
I won't fuck anyone.
The woman's voice, in case it's been so long you can't remember it, that is Nora. That is the nice Pakistani lady living in England that Ralph was briefly married to. The woman that wrote to him while he was incarcerated and that stood by him for a very long time. The woman that is the best woman he'll ever have because he cheated on her and she divorced him, and now he has to settle with pedophile horse Jews. just in case you forgot, you can hear her actual disgust and her fiance, husband at the time, I guess, talking about how he would actually physically fuck Mr. Medicare. She is repulsed by this. She laughs awkwardly throughout the entire conversation. And that, to me, I think is the funniest part of this entire thing. But make no doubt, Ethan Ralph would have sucked Jim's dick for a very long time, up until, I guess, like a week ago. I mean, I think that, like I said, I think that Ralph would probably suck Jim's dick if he would have come onto the stream, prop him back up again like he did before. Just remember, in case Jim hears this, Jim, it's all your fault. You made this man. You're the only reason why this fat fucking idiot has any fans whatsoever. You made him. Okay, that's my clip. I think Flamenco played that on the stream. Very good clip. Thank you. Okay, so now the smoke. He got made fun of because if you don't know, this whole thing is obviously veiled, like, I don't know, like threat to Jim. It's very bizarre. I don't know what his intentions are, and I like to imagine that he wrote this like on his phone in Portugal, like in his bodega, like in the hospital bed. His like eyes are like sealed shut, and he's like crying as he's writing this, like, dear Jim, I wrote you and you still ain't coming on my show. I made you, bitch. I can fucking buck break you too. And then he publishes it. But he doesn't say Jim. He says old man. So people make fun of him and say, sir, you are writing an article about fear. You're calling this man a coward. But yet you do not name him because you yourself are a coward. So he writes a follow-up article. This one's a 6-minute read on the 3rd of February. So about 3 or 4 days later, right? Let me end my poll. 6 months ago, 1,767 votes. Would you shoot yourself in the fucking head if you woke up as Ethan Oliver Ralph? 87% of that 1,767 votes said they would shoot themselves in the fucking head, and 14% said they would try and make the best of their life. That's obviously the Christian option, because you have to make the do with the life that God gives you, right? So those are the true Christian chads, the no's that would come out and be like, sorry y'all, I really fucked up. I've been lashing out, and that's only because I know I'm unhappy with myself. I love you, Gator. I want to, even if you never work with me again, and I understand from the bottom of my heart if you never want to, I want to thank you sincerely that you, everything you did for me and for the show meant a lot to me, Gator. I want to thank Medica, even though I said some terrible things about him and his wife. I want to apologize, Medica, because you helped me out when nobody else would. And Flamenco, I know I've said some fucked up shit, but you stuck by me when things were getting hard, man. And you put up with more than you should. And that's it. That's you waking up as Ralph. It's like, okay, that's done. What do I do with faith? What do I do with faith? Definitely don't claim paternity over that child, because I don't want to be involved with Faith at all. But okay, I have to make sure that pregnancy is fine, and then I have to find some way to stop her from molesting that kid. Just gotta lock this down, because male pedophiles will molest stepsons, but women will abuse their sons. So we got to figure out some shit with this. We gotta put this on lockdown to stop this from popping off. Okay. Then what's step 3? Visit your mother's grave. Visit your son, your brother in the mental hospital. Say hi for the first time in 30 fucking years. You got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of weight to lose. That heart's not going to put out much. You got to clean your room, clean your penis. That's right. It's small steps add up. Okay, Rome wasn't built in a day. Every journey starts with the first step, right? You got a lot of work to do. Obviously, you did not wake up as Ethan Oliver Ralph so that you could just kill yourself. There's a purpose built into you. Okay, The Smoke. This is his follow-up article. I really didn't want to write a long-ass article on cancer man James Augustine, formerly James O'Chuckasy, James O'Chuckasy, and all this gay-ass gator shit. But you know, you never go into detail on your side and your thinking. People just run wild with their own bullshit. I really thought my last post was one of the greats here on the site. I really didn't want to add to it, but then Gator went on air and apparently mischaracterized some things, so it just has to happen. I say apparently because I didn't watch a single minute of their 8-hour therapy session. Let me lay some indisputable facts, however. I told Gator I wanted him off the show the day after Andy Worski and the Fat Lesbian he does a show with sent a goon to my actual home. The reason? He was joking around with Worski about Xanax berries on Twitter. Now, this is the tweet that I briefly mentioned before I went on a huge diversion. When he first featured this, his name was Trader Gator, and then he changed it to Adrian Blair 1. And now if you check the live version of the site, sorry, that is the old version. If we go to the live version of the site right now, you will see that he has replaced his... He changed it back. He had embedded it differently. I'm hallucinating. Never mind. Forgive me. I thought he had edited that block so that it wouldn't show Adrian Blair 1 in it. But I'm clearly having a mental breakdown. I don't know what the fuck happened. It was exactly as I remembered it, and then it pops back in as the Twitter thing a minute later. As I'm trying to explain it. I have schizophrenia. Now it's doing it. Look, now when I point it out, it pops back in. This website is Machiavellian. It's designed to fuck with me. Ralph learned to code and set this all up so that he could pop it back in and out just to break my brain. This is a guy, Gator, who I paid every month for almost 2 years. I've literally put food on this fat motherfucker's table, and he's joking around with the cokehead who just sent someone to my house on the very same weekend, taking shots at my past drug usage. Disloyal is not the word. Disgusting is more like it. Gator would be crying in his Dakimakuru if someone came to his shitty ass apartment. This is a great thing to point out. I mean, I say great, but like, Ralph doesn't give a fuck. Like, he literally does not give a fuck about May. If May, like, blew her brains out right now, like, he would make the family pay for the cremation. He would not do anything to help May. Like, she's so scared for her life, and he still goes to Portugal to get his ass beat. Very funny. I mentioned this already, but I wasn't frightened in the slightest about the clown coming to my house. I would have loved nothing more than to come out there with my baseball bat and crack his fucking skull open, but you know, I have cases and court concerns all over the fucking country. Unlike others, I don't run and hide in my enemy dungeon, change my name, etc. It's just not something I'm at liberty to do, especially with my daughter about to be born in 2 months when I'll be at the Kingpin in Texas. Be sure to come, y'all. Tickets for sale. But you know who was upset? My fiancée, May. She didn't lose her mind. Wait, hold up. Okay, never mind. Damn it. She didn't lose her mind in fear, but she didn't know who it was at first, and it was a frightening situation. Why, you ask? Someone tried to kidnap her out of her home in September 2020. This bastard is going to be sentenced for this next week. By the way, who is this fat bitch you're talking about? This whole thing is very dubious. From what I understand, people have talked about the kidnapping. The guy who allegedly kidnapped her is like severely autistic, and there's a conspiracy theory that May set this up to try and make Digibro jealous so that he would act masculine in some way and like protect her. And then when he didn't, that's when she like had a mental breakdown and then cheated on Digibro with Ralph, because I guess Ralph is like as far away from Digibro as you can possibly get. Just to give you context of what he's referencing, I think May wasn't kidnapped at all. She was like duct taped inside the home, and that was it. So it's entirely possible that she set this guy up and he's just too retarded to defend himself adequately. Yeah, if you think like that, you can just kill yourself. Even 30 seconds in fear is 30 seconds too much. Plus, all the people you see talking shit would literally piss their pants if someone showed up to their house. But I'm supposed to be cool with that? Fuck no. And he posts a tweet where he talks about the case, and someone posted what I just mentioned, the conspiracy theory. Gator knew someone tried to kidnap May last year. He knew it all, but he still saw fit to roll me under the bus for cheap Twitter laughs. Why? Because he's a weak mind and spirit. A little bitch, to be quite honest. At least someone in his spot could do is keep his fucking mouth shut and have some kind of honor. But, you know, that's not Gator, apparently. But, you know, that's not Gator. I wish he writes so poorly. He's one of the worst writers ever. Like, that's all you need to say. Apparently that's not Gator. Like, oh, and he wasn't happy with his compensation. Well, that's all news to me. Gator and I hope he really tries to deny this. Never once complained to me about 1 red cent. That is a Chris thing. Chris, when he was in court, he got told by the judge, this was for the Snyder thing when he hit someone with his car and was trespassing. He was told to pay the owner of the place he was trespassing on to pay compensation to, like several $1,000s. And Chris, against the advice of his attorney, stood up in the middle of court and said something like, he doesn't deserve 1 red cent. And just like hollered it in the middle of the trial at Michael Snyder. And I've never heard the expression 1 red cent except for Chris and Ralph at this point. It's the merge, chat. It's the merge. It's happening right now. That's a common idiom. Fuck you, Vash, Japanese shit, motherfucker. I don't run a fucking charity, and to be quite honest with you, he's been phoning it in for months and barely even appearing on show. A guy like Southern Dingo has added 1,000,000 times more on the air. More to the on-air entertainment the last 6 months. No one with a brain can argue this. God, I guess Dingo wants to be the next guy that gets buck broken by Ralph. It's so strange. I even remember I asked him why he wanted to be Ralph's gun guard, and he responded by like getting really indignant and just like lashing out at me. It's like, okay, buddy, didn't mean to like upset you there. That dude wasn't pulling his ample weight. That's the simple matter of the fact. Why does he call people fat too? That's also weird. Like, bro, you're like 300 plus fucking pounds now. You don't even look human anymore. But yeah, he calls Gator fat. He's seen him like once, like 3 years ago. Anyways, after I caught the beat down here in Lisbon, I messaged him and tried to just forget that. Let's put it behind us. This was my good friend, I thought. You know, let this be a lesson. Jesus Christ. He's like drinking as he's writing, and the article's falling apart at the seams as he goes along. Life is important. We did put it behind us briefly, although he still didn't want to come back to the show, which, to be honest with you, I was more than fine with. Then he went on Twitter and got in his feelings after I wrote my last post, which was the fear post. He said that he would wish me the best of luck in my future endeavors. This is a line I've used. It comes from Vince McMahon. Wait, isn't that the... I only know that name because of this. Oh, he's... Okay, never mind. I thought he did the money song. Here comes the money. But no, he's just the guy that like walks around in meme gifs and stuff. Well, like, it's weird that he calls everyone fat when he's so sensitive about his weight. Well, that's because everything he says is fucking projection at this point. It's to the point where it's like he is so consistently projecting and being hypocritical that it would be mentally exhausting to try and call him out anytime he's hypocritical. Like, if I were to sit down and try to actually like thoroughly debunk this article by pointing out all the times he's being hypocritical, I would never finish this because it's just every sentence he's projecting shit. So he got upset because Gator used his line, "I wish you luck in your future endeavors," which is Vince McMahon, which is something that he's also said. So it's like he's taking this like, I'm Donald Trump, and he said to me, "You're fired." And I'm like, I ain't fired, bitch. That's my fucking line. Who the fuck do you think you are? This was obviously done to slight me, as he says. It was done to fuck with me without question. I wrote him on Discord and said there would be no further need for us to talk, and he gave me the Discord for my show that I had him running. In reality, he did very little after the setup. The next time I heard from him, he was snaking on me with the prolific, out and proud homosexual streamer, Flamenco. Shout out to Flamenco in the chat. I think I had said something about... By the way, he's calling Flamenco out and proud, but...
He did give Milo that pearl.
And we know
Okay.
Where's
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Minnesota, so he's probably got muscles.
He's
and
probably
shit.
like strapping as fuck. He looks like
Smoking
Jake
a camel
Gyllenhaal
cigarette,
off
gun.
Brokeback Mountain or some shit.
I'm sorry, but you're trying... Like, okay, I don't want to do this and embarrass myself somehow by, like... But, like, okay, sitting there and you're trying to think, like, what's an attractive man that I can compare Medicare to because I want to fuck him so badly? And he immediately goes to Jake Gyllenhaal from Brokeback Mountain. That is super gay to like immediately go like, oh, this is a strapping young lad like Jake Gyllenhaal from that gay movie where a bunch of gay cowboys fuck each other. That's right, Medicare. I'd sleep with you before I slept with that Auschwitz victim that looks like what's her name? What's her name?
Could you ever imagine any situation where you would pick Cunt of Vivian over IA, Mr.
Oh, Guard of Vivian. God, it's been so long. Fuck this shit. Fuck Gamergate. Ram Ranch really rocks. Ethan Ralph pulling up in a black Nissan truck. Scalped by the loan. He'll never pay it off. Big hard Medicare. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it was... Okay. I lost my spot because I scrolled up and down while I was joking. Okay, no. Proud homosexual streamer Flamenco. I think I had said something about getting rid of the dead weight on my live show, but other than that, I was very measured in what I said about this fucking goblin. Goblin vomit. He goes on an 8-hour wine fest, LOL. It was clearly planned and premeditated, which you know is fine. That's how the business goes. But anyone acting like this fucking sniveling weasel has any ounce of honor or moral standing is full of shit. He was my personal little bitch. for years for the low, low price of $200 a month. This fuck can make whatever the hell he wants to now, but that's the truth. If you wanted more money, you should have asked for it, loser. I can't wait for the one about Southern Dingo. Like, how can you be someone who associates with Ralph, like Dingo, who's vying for that co-host spot, and you see this? Like, bro, this will be you. Just swap the fucking name out with Southern Dingo, and he'll be saying this. Southern Dingo was my personal little bitch for years for the low, low price of $200 a month. That's you, buddy. That's you next. You fucking get it? Like, there's nothing that Gator stood by this guy through thick and thin for fucking a decade, and he does like nothing to deserve like being called out like this from Ralph. And like that's you next. He's now on Twitter bringing my son into his attack, so I pretty much think that says all you need to know. This dude is scum, and I wouldn't piss on him if he were on fire. Hopefully this cancer shit is the gift that keeps on giving and spreads to another sector. Speaking of cancer, why would you say something about Daddy Jim? Some fucking old man who shakes his cancer medication bottles and talks shit about me every time I hear him open his goddamn mouth on the topic. This shit ain't even funny. It's some old, stale joke, like his actual life. This guy lives in a fucking constant state of fear, refuses to even leave his home lest he get sneezed on and die, and was dead wrong in the biggest issue of our lifetimes, COVID-19. For months, he promoted this nonsense that we needed to shut down our whole world. He came on my show and said the same. Then he disappeared for a year, and he has still yet to own up to the worst call of our lifetimes. So in his mind, Ralph's mind, Jim's like panic streams about COVID, which I would agree were way over the top, especially in retrospect. Because I was expecting, I was hoping, I was praying for a zombie apocalypse based on what information I was seeing in January of 2020. But because of that, like in Ralph's head, that's the reason why he couldn't go see his mother when she died, because he wasn't allowed in because of COVID. It was like at the height of COVID. So he wasn't allowed to see her, and that's Jim's fault. Like in his brain. And he's just an annoying faggot. Joking about someone is one thing. I joke about myself constantly. My life is insane. But every time you see someone, they're talking shit. It's not good-natured. It's a guy trying to put someone else down. And I just don't think some old, scary-minded anime dungeon-having freak deserves any respect anymore. At one time, I felt differently.
Medicare. Besides, you would ever take this bitch over.
Everyone in chat is saying that they'd rather fuck Jim. So
his opinion was very differently. That shit is beyond over. I'm not Gator. I don't roll over for anyone. Everything you see from him is fake. He was scared shitless of getting sued by that old monograph loser. So shitless, in fact, he changed his own name. Do you know how that was discovered, by the way? His cam whore partner got her card pulled because she was too sloppy to keep up. Sloppy is a theme with her. This is the mighty Medicare, the fake king of anonymity who name-fagged his whole life, who was against Patreon and merch before he was for it, who was actually just a scared senior citizen, not too far off from a literal nursing home. I'm way past acting like this dude has any standing to talk shit about anyone's life and not get some smoke in return. Motherfucker, you sit in your house terrified and watch Japanese cartoons all day. I would rather sooner die than live your pathetic existence, and that's no hyperbole. Some people wanted me to go into detail, so there you go. I think you're starting to catch my drift, whether you agree with it or not. I'm not going to live fake as fuck. I'm not going to give deference to subpar ex-employees who ratted on me while I was in my hospital bed. And I'm for damn sure not going to give any more fucks about addressing anyone on any topic. If you want the smoke, you can get it. And by the way, I think what he's mentioning here with Jade, she was like, I think a dental anesthetician. So she had a license, and that license, like, you can check and see, oh, does this person actually have a license to practice anesthesiology? Because that's like a big fucking thing. I think she sticks needles into people to like inject sedative into them. You want to make sure that this person is actually legally allowed to practice that field. And that got found. Which, what I'm trying to say is that she worked a job, like a real job, and Ralph does not. when you actually work a job and when you go outside, you have more exposure than none at all, which also feels like projection to me. Who's that weird pale goblin at the bottom? Oh, that's me. He's published so few articles. He made this post about the Great Recharge where he was going to start writing a bunch of articles. And then he published a whine about me on October 29th. And then January 31st is his next post where he's complaining about Jim and vague. He's vague posting in his diary about Medicare. By the way, you can go ahead and check Ralph's Telegram without being in the group by just going to t.me/s/theralphretort. And people don't check this as much as they should because you can archive it correctly. But he posted it here. And then, very smartly, Ralph, not on Twitter, of course, because he would get banned off Twitter. And I think he's more afraid of being banned from Twitter or losing his blue check mark than he is of May getting like shot at this point. He says, I hear Greenville, North Carolina is great this time of year. Probably will be taking a road trip up there in a week or two. Then he posts this picture of a Handy Mart gas station, which is like, if you've ever been to the south of the U.S., there are these shitty little, like convenience stores that aren't a part of any big chain. And they're just like where black people go to buy cigarettes. And you can also, every time I go to one of these little convenience stores on a road trip, I remember that there's always in the front by the cigarettes, there's these cute little plastic flowers that they sell in, like little tiny plastic flowers that they sell in these cute little vases. And the vases, just for whatever reason, the vases look just like crack pipes. But it's a really, I assume what they're doing is they're taking crack pipes that have been seized by the police from drug dealers to help them, and then they're repurposing them as art, as artistic vases for flowers. They're definitely not selling crack pipes for $1 at these convenience stores by pretending that they're flower vases. And then he posted this. And this is him hinting that he's going to drive to visit Gator. But from what I can piece together, the only reason why Ralph thinks that Gator lives there is that, well, that also goes to Memphis, I think, or whatever, I don't know. But he's driving there because Gator had him pick, I know what this is. If you use Google Maps, you can actually, and you don't have your history turned off, you can pull up like routes that you've taken. They track every single thing you go to. I remember I fucking opened my phone and I found this, and it had like every fast food restaurant that I've ever visited in like the Philippines or Japan. And it's like, how the fuck, and Ukraine, like how the fuck does it's like keeping this information on me. So this is the route I think that Ralph took to pick up Gator and then drive to Knoxville for the fight. I didn't realize that that's what it was. I thought he was just posting this map to like taunt Gator, but I just realized that it does go to Knoxville. So, but the issue is, I think, is that Gator didn't trust him even back then, so he just had him pick him up at the Handy Mart, which could be, you know, however far from Ralph. Like he could have asked someone like, oh, on your way to work, can you drop me off at the Handy Mart so that Ralph can pick me up there? And they're like, sure. I don't think he lives or works there. He's not black, so he definitely isn't working there. So yeah, that's his current gambit, as he's trying to dox Gator. Can you believe it? Can you believe it, chat, that he turned on Gator after all this time? I can. It's interesting, by the way, to like on Telegram view the comments for these posts, because they're very heavily like censored. He's like arguing with people in the messages, and then the messages he's replying to are all deleted, so he's just like banning everybody. That's like saying, hey, maybe you're going a little bit too far this time. Like he doesn't buy into that. He'll do whatever the fuck he wants. Okay, I'm now put into a position where actually, before I do this, I'm tempted to go pee first. Should I keep playing that song? Here, you know what? I'll do this. I'll let you guys hear the second half of that mashup. I'll be right back.
It seems that all that
Hi. Sorry. That's my bad. I'm trying to stay hydrated, chat. It's an important part. Like, I don't know how they do 8-hour long streams. Maybe I just have a really small bladder. My sneaking suspicion, however, is that Gator, Flamenco, and Jim all piss in the bottles. I think even Ricada pisses into bottles. I think these people have a pee bottle, and they have it under their desk, and I think that they pee into it because they never stop streaming ever. I don't understand how. Like, I'm staying hydrated. I drank half a liter of water during the stream, and I drank another half before. So I'm not adopting the pee bottle. So you're just gonna have to deal with me occasionally having to get up and go pee. Okay. I am coerced. I am compelled to talk about something. I'm trying to figure out how I should approach this. I've written notes. Joining the fray, someone else who I've been made aware of has come. Actually, I'll save that for later. I'll save that for after, to lighten the mood again. Ralph has been confronted by someone else who I've been made aware of for a while, and who is a small streamer, and she is a VTuber, and she made fun of Ralph. And a lot of people enjoy this because it's like the bunny lady is making fun of you. Isn't that funny? I want to give you a brief overview of my introduction to VTubers and why I'm somewhat trepidatious about this whole thing. But I feel compelled to talk about it because everyone keeps fucking asking me to. My first, I can pinpoint, I can show you exactly what video I watched. I was exposed to this on the Fediverse, and when I saw this video, this is the first VTuber thing, anything that I've ever watched. And there's 2 different clips. I'm going to show them. And this, when I saw this, I thought, holy fucking shit. I can't believe, I have like a several thousand long thread on my forum about VTubers. And I saw, this was the first thing that I ever saw in regards to them. Hopefully this doesn't have anything I can't show on stream. I scanned through it before, and pretty sure it doesn't. But
Lolly porn is wrong. Most lolicons are closeted pedophiles, which is a sad fate. But I'm one too. I don't like real big women. I just can't. I just like, you know, cute young girls. But I don't like myself for liking. Oh yeah, you'll see it. You see this girl? She's 5! She is 5. Smile. So, yeah. No, I don't.
So I saw this and I thought, I need to destroy this. I need to find any instance of it on my website, and I need to find anyone who talks about this, and I need to destroy them. I need to completely and totally obliterate them from my community. And there was a hostage negotiator sent in from the VTuber community, and we discussed this over days. I had locked the thread down for days, and we came to an understanding. And the VTubers eventually endeared themselves to me by doxing this person on the site. So I'm tolerant of it. Because as far as I'm concerned, when you compare this to like the politics shit, they have more of a original purpose to be on the site than the politics does. So I found some middle ground there. On the other hand, I think that this person in particular definitely wants to get attention because her whole shtick is that she is a big into like Christian and the forum and stuff, and she's a forum favorite because of that, because she talks about people like Ralph. And by the way, the reason why I thought that this person, the one on the screen, the lolicon one, the reason why I thought that they were like the whole scene is I thought the software for the rigging of the model, I thought that was proprietary. I thought that you had to be working with the company directly to get access to that software. So anyone who had the avatar was someone who had affiliations with the company. So that is why I've found out that it's actually free and open source software now. Like Flamenco's thing is like the default model for a specific kind of free software, or it might not be free, but it's like a default model that he just like customizes. So, I've looked into it, and I will play this. Okay. I'm trying to be nice without like being too positive, because okay, it's very funny, yes, that an anime avatar is making fun of Ralph, as is anytime anyone makes fun of Ralph, because Ralph was funny to make fun of. She needs to work on her laugh, and she needs to move out of whatever bath, like where the fuck is this lady stream where her voice echoes like this. Here's the clip that I like, because she's making fun of me, but like, you can hang up foam on your walls to like to stop the echo, my dude. you can like fix the audio.
Real? Is real? The Ralph and Mel just tweeted about you. No fucking way. Nah. Oh. I don't keep up with the goings on of anime rabbits, sir. I'm afraid the fact that you do says more about your character than it does mine. Hey, isn't your fiance a lolicon? I don't know if you really want to throw stones in a glass house again, buddy. I don't know if you want to throw stones inside of a glass house.
What accent is that? Like, I don't want to try to imitate it, because I don't want to like completely fuck it up and embarrass myself. It is strange. It's like she's from New Jersey or something. Yeah, I don't know. I found it funny. Like, May is the easy one to take shots at. If Ralph is gonna, like, he even did a whole show. Even I remember, because when Medicare and Flamenco. Fake accent, yeah, it's like a fake voice, and I really, that's like one of my big things about it, is like I watched one VTuber, and she was opening, like, all it was, I swear to God, she was on like a brand new account in Apex Legends. She was like level 20 or something, and all she was doing was, I'm gonna try to imitate this, and I'm gonna embarrass myself for the sake of my audience. But she was like opening the chest and making like weird like hushy noises, like boku no Okinawa, and like just like right into the mic, and she's like opening these boxes, and she's like praying for like gold, like for rare items from loot boxes for a game that she doesn't even like obviously play, because she's level 20 in it. But then all the simps were like Japanese neats were like sending her super chats of like 100,000 yen, which is like not 100,000, 10,000 yen, which is like $100, saying like, and I translated it, and they're just saying like, I hope you get a rare item, Boku Nokiwa-san. And it's like, why? What are you doing? Why are you paying money for this woman to gamble it for items in a game that she doesn't even play? I really don't get it. I listened to like a couple just to see like, okay, do I understand what's happening? It's like, no, these people watch these characters and they don't even speak Japanese, and they have no idea what's going on. She could be funny. She could just be like reciting, I don't know, poetry for children. She could just be reading like children's storybooks, and they would have no fucking idea what's actually being said. And they watch them even when they're just gambling, like to open loot boxes and shit. I have like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, I mean, I could make a lot of like super negative conjectures about like VTuber stuff. And I'll refrain, because my characterizations of it would be exceedingly negative, and I don't want to like antagonize a bunch of people and get a lot of people pissed off. Right now, I'm on good terms with pretty much everyone for once. Nobody's mad at me anymore, except for Ralph, which is all I want mad at me. So I'm chill. I'm like Joe Rogan. I'm like I got my vape pen. I'm just blowing the CBD, big puff of smoke. Like, yeah, man. Some fucking anime shit. The fucking rabbit's making fun of Ralph, dude. Dude, have you ever seen chimps? Do you know that chimps will watch a VTuber? Nah, man. I didn't know that. That's me. I gotta gotta relax. Though, actually, speaking of, I was apprehensive to talk about this, and I was apprehensive to talk about something else. And I'll pull this up because it got shown, and it's pretty funny. But the guy who made it is the issue. I got an email from someone named Tux Loves You, and I immediately recognized that name because I think I don't remember 100% what it was, but I remember him from the Sneed Chord. You may remember the Sneed Chord when I used to have a Discord server. He was a user in the Sneed Chord, and I think that he unironically wanted to fuck me. And he was very weird and kind of like he wanted to help me with stuff, but he like creeped me out. So I just said like, nah, man, I ain't about that. And I had to ban him from my Discord. And then years later, he sends me this Super Gunt 64 thing, and I just ignore it like an asshole. I didn't reply because I didn't want to say anything to him. But then it got played around, so I guess where the fuck is the video of this? Hold up. I apologize if he worked super hard on that because it has pictures of me and stuff in it, and he's disappointed that I didn't talk about it, and that's why he sent it to Flamenco to get some coverage. But you really creeped me out in my Sneed Chord, my dude, and I'm really sorry if you put like 1,000 hours on that to win my love or something. That's just how it is sometimes, my nigga. It doesn't always go as you want it to. Okay, here's the video. I found it. I think this is it. 10 minutes long. We'll skip through it, but I guess.
My name is Ethan.
So this is a ROM hack. This guy actually like
Fuck off!
He went through and he like replaced assets in Super Mario 64 to be Ralph themed.
Fuck that shit!
This is
Dear Mario, please come to the castle.
Dear Popeye, you're gaslighting trans people. You're truly call me Dick Girl. And it's got a little Killstream K on it. Isn't that great? Sky is just Matthew Vickers doing his like binoculars thing. Oh no! Who's that? That's not me. And didn't go offline on RetroArch? Tux Friendzone. This. You know, someone pointed out that canonically, Mario is in the canon of the Mario universe. Mario is 5'1", so here we have Ralph at true to life height. Skip ahead of that. Showing off the. Ew! What does he do that makes him shit himself? I want to get to a certain part that I know was there. Oh, the bricks on the wall are all like his Twitter avatar from when he thought he was like gangster or some shit. Who's Toad? Whose face is on Toad? Is that just also Ralph? Well, the doors have Kiwi Farms logo on it. I like cute. The portrait on the walls are just his mugshot. Okay. Oh, the trees are all like a mass blobs of gunt flesh. That's horrible. The enemies need to be more. I guess you're still working on it, but the enemies should be more. Like obviously, Ralph is going to be around like collecting. Oh, the stars are burgers. Oh, there's Faith up there. I thought it was just Matthew Vickers, but no, there's also Faith. This is Bum Bum Run or whatever. Oh, there it is. That's what I was getting to. There I am. The Bomb Bomb King has been replaced with me. With me, I am the boss of the first round. Only the first round. Ralph has bigger fish to fry. I've actually never played Super Mario 64. Is that embarrassing? Oh no! He can't pick me. No, he couldn't do that. I could beat him up in real life. For Thor, I could beat him up. And now he's doing it again. He's always trying to get me from behind too. It's so horrific. What the fuck? Play it. Should I play this version? Josh beat up Gunt in Lisbon. Oh no, I exploded. Oh, the in-round stars are Kiwi Farms logos. That's really good. Oh, and the fade-outs are logos too. That's great. Oh, he has a Kid Diddler hat. Oh, what attention to detail, chat. What attention to detail. Very nice. I'm sorry I didn't take this exclusive content when I had the opportunity, chat. But I was kind of scared of the person who sent it to me. So I live in like Medicare. I live in fear too. Okay. That's it. That's it for the Ralph. If you're only here for Ralph, you can fuck off. I'm going to get my YouTube channel banned now. There is a man who many of you have heard about, who was a professor at UCLA. He was an African American gentleman, I'll say that. And he was very racially conscious, as many African American gentlemen are in this country. And he taught philosophy at the UCLA in Los Angeles. Now, he was arrested and is facing federal charges for various things. As the report says here, included with the video was an 803-page manifesto written by Harris with more than 7,500 references to kill, according to the FBI agent's affidavit. Burn and attack Boulder outside by the university, the manifesto said. Hunt them down where they work. Kill their children in freshman orientation. Shoot them at the opening weekend. Bombs at the middle school. No threats. Shotgun Columbine University slaying. Killed the board of trustees at every university. The level of violence we saw in the manifesto was obviously alarming, said Boulder police. It was a very violent and very disturbing. So this guy is the perpetrator, and we happen to have his manifesto. I'll let him introduce himself.
Integration is impossible. Integration is a lie. Coexistence is a lie. Meeting you in the middle is a lie. Sharing anything is a lie. We don't exist. The only thing that matters is killing all of the enemy off. All of my enemies have to die.
And that enemy, of course, is white people. And basically every other race besides black people. And then blah, 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 bad or whatever, sent the thread out. Let's get to this manifesto. Now, if I take the manifesto, Death Sentences by Matthew Harris, and I type in a certain word, I get a lot of hits. It says more than 1,000 matches on Firefox in this 800-page manifesto. But if you search the N-word on Chrome, you will get over 10,000 iterations of the N-word in this 800-page manifesto. So I am literally going to pick pages at random. The first page, the cover starts at page 4 and ends at page 803. So I want you guys in chat to go ahead and name any number between 4 and 803, and I will read that page or part of that page. So go ahead and just start spamming chat with numbers. 420, that's a good number. Let's start at 420. Asians shoot all... I can't say that. I can't say that. Okay, like I would, if it put my channel at risk, I would say I cannot say that in Europe. It is not allowed. It is prohibited for me to say the sentence, and I'm not going to risk it. I can't say the next sentence, though. Shoot all the Asian programmers and students and entertainers. Hunt Asians like rats. This is so violent. I actually didn't read through this at all. I had no idea what to expect. I wish I can't even sum this up. I need to sing it like like Ben Shapiro and like censor myself. N-word, kill all the K-words. N-word, kill all the chinks mongoloids. N-word, kill all the red mongoloids. N-word, kill all the K-word Ottomans. N-word, kill all of the crackers. N-word, kill all the children of other tribes. Kill all their kids. I actually was not expecting this. I thought it would be like nonsense. I did not expect that it would be like immediately first sentence like, yeah, this would get you like it's like copy pasted. How many times is that sentence? Kill all. How many times does that show up? 126 iteration, and this is like copy pasted over and over again. Dude, he hates everybody. Okay. Let me find another. Okay, give me another number. 69. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. I was looking for like the start of the paragraph. Oh, I'll start here at 67. 11. Culture and safety. Build the nigger paradise now. The unworthy man has less penis. The unworthy man is closer to being a woman. The unworthy man has a clitoris compared to nigger. Accept the truth and don't run an apology to the unworthy man. The unworthy man has less dick. Obviously, the unworthy man has less manhood. Obviously, the unworthy man is less of a man than the nigger. The nigger must not surrender his inches over to the unworthy man by apologizing and pretending to like weak, unworthy cultural shit. Nigger must not apologize to the unworthy man by hyping up his shitty imitation of nigger culture. You know what? This reminds me of a copy pasta that Ethan Ralph tried to get me in trouble with some time ago about American culture. It seems that Dr. Harris would agree with me on that particular take. In his existence, his art, his goals, and his nature, the unworthy man is a poor imitation of nigger. And I should, if you're only listening to this, every time the N-word is written in this document, it is all caps. And I think he even explains in that black people should not go by African American or black. They should go by all caps nigger every time. And that is this document. Lesbian. Nigger knows that if he's not lying to himself, the people track unworthy men down to be punished for crimes against the people. Crimes by unworthy men against women are punished by immediate death. What? Oh. But it is never handled in obvious ways. The Matt Harris is strong and decisive about his supremacy. He doesn't need to tell anyone, but he never denies, hides, or resists the truth. The Matt Harris doesn't hesitate to say, I'm better than you, and doesn't need to explain. He doesn't need to play the unworthy man's game of explaining that Matt Harris is a true and above all others. The Matt Harris doesn't need to say shit. If it serves the Matt Harris, then do it. If it isn't the people's interest to be generous and benevolent, the unworthy men are vicious. So the people have unlearned the urge to cower towards generosity and kindness. The unworthy man is abused. This entire thing is like a call to arms against all non-blacks. What the fuck? I'm trying to... They work together as a coordinated mass horde. Nothing defeats them except war and terrorism. There are no good ones. Even the nice ones who pretend to have the nigger's back will drop him in the gutter if he whistles at an unworthy woman. So tell 88 to suck my dick. Tell 1488 to swallow my nut off the floor. Believe me, she will feel pains she didn't know her body had. Tell Stormfront to lick nigger's boots. Tell Spencer to get a bullet in his skull. Tell the loser to piss his pants in the basement and hide behind the Bible after he's done hiding from me. Like when I pissed on your couch and smiled, this is who you will always be. Now you're dead. Fuck you, Fitzhenry. Die of being a stupid fucking inferior piece of trash. Your blood is garbage and so are your thoughts. Your sister gave me 88 head. Your little sister gave me 88 swallows. Millhouse get shot and die. Death to America. Black Lives Matter should have been a terrorist army, not a hip trend. It should have been called the Nigger Lives Matter. It should have been completely dedicated to the genocide of all men who are not nigger, not to dribble. Not all are qualified. The only simping I need to stop is sympathizing for the cracker and the K slur, God forbid, and the yellow mongoloid and the Ottoman and the red mongoloid and the African. Smart and dumb don't mean what you think it means, as there is only oppression of different styles of thinking by enemies who seek to keep nigger soul down, but nigger ain't taking that anymore. Cracker, he keeps saying the K word. This is the most anti-Semitic black man. You know, okay, this is true. I remember a story that Whoopi Goldberg said something about how the Holocaust wasn't about race or something. It was about, I can't remember, I could not paraphrase what she was trying to say, but she was trying to say something like, it wasn't about like racial hatred. It was about how evil men can be. And people were saying, oh my God, Whoopi Goldberg is racist towards Jews. And then she responded by saying, with like a quote from the ADL, or people responded by saying from a quote from the ADL, that the ADL specifically, explicitly defined racism as being white anger towards people of color. Explicitly. Nothing else was considered racism. And then after Whoopi Goldberg made it obvious that like black people could hate Jews, they had to change it so that it was like a more powerful racial entity marginalizing a less powerful racial entity or something. They completely changed the definition like on the fly after the Whoopi Goldberg shit happened. It's that's the really crazy thing about the internet is just how like it's a lot like 1984 in that, you know, you had the guys dedicated to editing the book so that history was always aligned with the party. But that's literally happening in real time when it comes to like the internet and shit. Okay. I cannot read this. I'll pick some more lines out of random. Purple Nile virus. Die for making your little brother gay. Now AIDS is black. Blood cancer to the world. We're operating on white bodies. Stop believing anyone is going to give you anything good. Stop pretending anyone is going to give you anything good. Worse than oppression. Zombie awareness campaign. By the way, if you're... Schwarzenegger. No crackers as men. Disable sound. Amber has infinitely more than she needs to learn. I have nothing to learn. Blood cancer. Dunkel student. Lose your wife in the river. Die in your dream while submerged. Stay dead. Overdose. Toxic amnesia. May your entire family die and you never return. You know, I have to find something now. And then I'm done because it's almost 2 hours. But let me. Crunklord has posted this to his timeline like several times, and I want to find it. Ooh, is this it already? Is it like pinned to his profile? Oh no, it's not. Give me a second. I am going to find this. I promise you, chat. And then, for whatever reason, this reminds me of it, and then I will be done. And if you're at the archive channel, I would definitely suggest that you cut all of this because your shit's going to get wrecked. Crunklord posts a lot of fucking videos. I wonder why my hard drive is so full. Crunklord, stop posting all these videos. Aha! 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 Here it is, chat. He posts this a lot, and I like it, so I'm going to share it with you. Though you have to read the subtitles, because otherwise it would be too hard. Where the fuck is my Firefox? There it is. Okay, here. Read the words, chat. The Antichrist begins to consolidate its power, it says.
The Antichrist begins to consolidate its power. Wait for it, revolution. 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 Love the Antichrist.
I don't like this part. That's cringe to me, this quote. But I like the first part. Anyways, I'm done. Bye-bye. I'll see you guys next week. I don't think Chantel's ever going to reply to my Instagram message. Rest in peace. Hopefully Ralph will still be alive by next week, because otherwise, I don't know. I just have to cancel my my streams forever. I think that's it. Did I miss anything? Oh god. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. I had to refresh my browser, and I forgot I had like 8 different fucking YouTube tabs open. So oh wait, I do have something actually. One more thing. Where is it? Wife. Very briefly, I was watching a Wings of Redemption thing, and I lost the fucking.
Can you not take? You at least need to get off and talk to me.
She does her own stream at some point, and if I can't find this very quickly, where is the live stream at? Did he delete that? Oh.
107 here. Jordy doesn't hit me. Brake cleaner. If the
I had it bookmarked, but I've lost it. She did her own stream, Wings of Redemption's wife, and just real quick, Wings of Redemption bans people. When he bans people, he says, "You're going to ban world," right? And when I got a prompt by YouTube to create a highlight from when chat spazzed out after I pulled up the manifesto. But when he bans someone, he says, "You're going to ban world." And she's making fun of him lightly in her stream that he set up. And she says, "Oh, I need my own ban world. I'm gonna have to block you. You're gonna go to Blockland." And I about fucking died laughing. You don't want to go to Blockland, kids. It'll fuck you up for life. Okay, that's it. That's all I have. I will see you guys next week. Wait, let me find my outro song. I lost it. Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, you and your friends, 10 years old, sneaking beach nut on back in the road. Sell it at market on Saturdays. Halloween, getting lost with the girl in the maze. Throwing cobs at the cards that are passing. Sheriff comes out and you hide and you laugh and praying for the sun, praying for the rain, praying over muffins that your grandma made. And corn in the truck, corn in the field, corn in the bottom of a moonshine still, corn in a kettle, corn in a skillet, corn in a jug, hot damn, you can feel it. Corn for the chicken, corn for the deer, corn for as far as you can see around here. Leaning on a fence in a Carhartt hat with a farmer's tan, saying, "Man, look at all that corn." Yeah, all that corn. Yeah, ain't no wonder why you love it. You got your first kiss in a barn full of it. Drank your first beer, learned to play guitar at a turn roll party with a tailgate bar. Farmer's daughter and a John Deere man, saving your money, put a ring on her hand. Now you're raising more than a silver queen in a little farmhouse by a field of dreams. Corn in the truck, corn in the field, corn in the bottom of a moonshine still, corn in a kettle, corn in a skillet, corn in a jug, hot damn, you can feel it. Corn for the chicken, corn for the deer, corn for as far as you can see around here. From the Ohio River to the Northern Platte, every highway, byway, hey, look at all that corn. All that corn. Yeah, corn in a bag that you toss in a hole. Corn on a hook at the end of a pole. Corn popping up at the movie in a bucket. The first you gotta grow it, gotta pick it, gotta shuck it. Corn in the truck, corn in the field, corn in the bottom of a moonshine still, corn in a kettle, corn in a skillet, corn in a jug, hot damn, you can feel it. Corn for the chicken.